Good day, everyone. I am Shonique Dempster, a Master's of Public Health and Nutrition student at Liberty University. The practicum was to develop a project proposal to be implemented for the child-headed households in Eswatini. This project was done in collaboration with the Give Hope Fight Poverty organization to assist the child-headed households of Malinza, Eswatini, in having shelf-stabilized protein sources to have during emergency situations. This is in an effort to bring food security to the area. The members of the organization travel to the area several times a year with volunteers to implement different projects to enrich the lives of the residents in the child-headed households of Eswatini. Next slide. Eswatini, formerly known as Swaziland, is a small country that is landlocked between Mozambique and South Africa. Food security is a huge issue in Africa, especially in Eswatini, where urban food insecurity continues to rise. Due to children being orphaned by HIV/AIDS, they are left to run their households and fend for themselves for food, education, and other important amenities. The population consists of children between the ages of 3 and 24 who have been orphaned due to their parents dying from AIDS. About a quarter of the children living in Eswatini suffer from stunted growth as a result of malnutrition. The majority of the population is dependent on subsistence farming for their livelihoods, with maize being the main crop grown by a large number of the households. The people of Eswatini experience several emergencies each year, including droughts, epidemics, floods, and tropical storms. During these times, they do not have cooking capabilities as their facilities are outside of their homes. The country experiences erratic rainfall, recurrent droughts, and soil degradation, which are all factors that negatively impact food security. The goal of this research is to examine ways to jerk and make shelf stabilized rabbit meat to provide long term protein, increasing the protein availability and consumption. There will be an improvement in the nutrition of the residents. The raising of rabbits will provide a viable income generating project for residents as well as a skill for the residents to embark on to ensure they are getting good quality meats for their protein source. Next slide. Rabbit meat is the highest in protein and low in cholesterol and fat content when compared against beef that has double the cholesterol content that is found in rabbit meat. Protein is the most important building block in the body. Rabbit meat has the highest nutritional value of protein per pound, with rabbit having 20.8% when compared to pork 11.9, lamb 15.7, beef 16.3, veal 18, chicken 20, and turkey 20.1%. Protein is necessary for human health as it builds and repairs muscles, skin, and blood. The high quality of protein found in rabbit meat has a better digestible component than that of beef or pork. Next slide. Currently, the main staple food consumed in Eswatini and most of South Africa is mealie meal. This is a coarse flour that is made from maize. Mealie is the most convenient meal in this region as it requires no refrigeration, is readily available, and it is cheap. Maize constitutes approximately 60% of the world's food harvest. Maize contains a high amount of starch, 65% to 75% carbohydrates, low amounts of protein with 6 to 12%, and fat 1 to 5%, with trace amounts of vitamins and minerals. The main issue with the protein found in maize is that it lacks two important amino acids, lysine and tryptophan, which are necessary for the human body to metabolize protein. The macronutrient comparison chart compares the amount of protein, total fats, and total carbohydrates in 300 grams of food. Rabbit meat has a high component of vitamins B3, 6, and B12, selenium, iron, choline, zinc, copper, and phosphorus. Analyzing rabbit meat in comparison to mealie meal proves that the rabbit jerky project will be effective in Malinsa Eswatini by filling the need for protein, which is lacking in their diets. The dietary and nutritional properties of rabbit meat suggest it should be consumed frequently by children and adolescents, pregnant women, elderly, and athletes. Next slide. This slide shows an experiment I carried out to make rabbit jerky. The image on the left shows the rabbit meat being cut into 1/4 inch pieces, which makes the process easier for dehydration. The image in the middle is of the strips soaking in the marinade. The final image was the end result, rabbit jerky. Next slide. Jerky is a nutrient-dense meat product that has been made lightweight after going through the drying process. Rabbit meat is a lean protein, which means it will not contribute to high cholesterol or any other heart-related diseases. Rabbit is a zero-waste product, which is evidenced by the use of its byproducts in a variety of ways. Rabbits are raised in a livestock species for meat, wool, or fur production, and charms. The biggest challenge I foresee is the potential for foodborne illnesses such as salmonella, trichinosis, and E. coli, given the limited resources available to safely carry out this project. Next slide. A personal lesson I learned from this project was the various ways in which rabbit can be used instead of just for garment making, and it is a healthier meat choice. The project will not begin implementation until January 2023, but it is very feasible given that the rabbits can be tended to by anyone, no matter the age, and that rabbit meat will be a cheap source of protein which is needed in the diet. This concludes my presentation. Thank you very much.